One of the things that always comes up for me is the idea that, on housing, you have a whole bunch of older folks who are living in houses that are too much house for them right now, but their connection to neighborhood, to community, means that no, they don't want to move out to the suburbs or to some different city to be closer to their grandkids. They want to still live in their community's quality of life, and there is no housing that they can afford even to downsize other than staying in their big house.
But we have real opportunities, and so we got to finish the job. And I promise you, I'm okay. Thank you.
This is my video update on this Saturday afternoon, July the 13th. Let's talk about some news, and let's start things off with Joe Biden in Michigan speaking at a very empty campaign event where Biden wanted everyone to know that he is okay. That is the new narrative that the Biden oligarchy is running with. I am okay. Biden told everyone in attendance at this event in Michigan that he may be old, but Biden does not lie. He knows how to tell the truth. Joe Biden does not lie. He knows how to tell the truth. Yeah, all right. All right, Biden, that's what you're going to run with. The truth teller. I'm okay. I'm okay. And I'm a truth teller. That's what they're going to go with to try and convince the Democrat Party officials and the big donors that he's the right candidate to take on Trump and that they should stick with Biden for the November 2024 election. I'm okay, and I know how to tell the truth. That's the game plan for the Biden oligarchy.
And here's what I know. I know how to tell the truth. I know right from wrong. I know how, and I've demonstrated how to do this job. When that butcher, Putin, who I know have known for a long time, when he invaded Ukraine, here's what Trump said. I'm not making this up either. He called him a genius and said it was wonderful. What in the hell is going on? But people would rather talk about how I mix up names. I guess they don't remember that Trump called Nikki Haley Nancy Pelosi. Well, no. No more. Donald, no more free passes. Today we're going to shine a spotlight on Donald Trump. We're going to do what the press so far hasn't, but I think they're going to soon.
And the donors, according to the New York Times, some of the donors, they're actually withholding money from the Biden campaign. $90 million, according to the New York Times. The donors just do not feel comfortable with Biden as the candidate. They believe that the Democrat Party should search for someone else to take on Trump. So they are withholding $90 million. In the Biden campaign, you know they want that $90 million. So they have to convince the donors that Biden's the guy. He is the man to take on Trump. Forget about Harris. Forget about Gretchen Whitmer and Gavin Newsom. The Democrats should stick with Biden because he's okay and he doesn't lie. Biden does not tell lies. So at this speech, Biden, let's go this way. Biden said that Putin's a butcher. He was talking about Project Ukraine, his favorite subject. Biden always gets excited when he talks about Project Ukraine, and he called the Russian president a butcher. And then he said that when Russia invaded Ukraine, that Trump said this was wonderful. That is what Biden claims, which sounds like a lie. I don't think Trump said that the conflict in Ukraine or Russia invading Ukraine is wonderful, but that is what Biden told everyone in attendance at this event in Michigan. I'm okay, and I don't lie. That is the narrative that Biden is going with. 5 minutes later, he lies. He lies about Project Ukraine. He lies about Putin. He lies about Trump. Boy. So what else? What else is going on with Professor Biden? A bunch of articles in the Collective West media are talking about ditching Biden. The Financial Times, they put out an article. Listen to this article title from the FT. Democrats in disarray over Biden. We're totally screwed. That is the title from the Financial Times. Democrats in disarray over Biden. We're totally screwed. Notice the featured image. Biden, Pelosi, Harris, Obama, Schumer. The people that will decide Biden's fate. Those are the people that will decide if Biden stays or if Biden goes. Obama, Schumer, Pelosi. And Harris waiting in the wings to be coronated as the next president of the United States, the candidate for the job of president of the United States. Kamala Harris. Wow. Wow. So that's the article from the Financial Times. And this cover from The Week has a ship sinking. The title, Abandoned Ship. Abandoned Ship. Democrats waver over whether to bail on Biden. The ship is sinking. The Biden ship sinking, and the Democrats don't know, should we stay on this ship or should we jump? They're going to jump. I think they're going to jump. One of the reasons the ship is sinking, by the way, is because of Project Ukraine. Project Ukraine is the main reason that the ship is sinking. No doubt about that. And we're even getting reports that EU leaders were so shocked at Biden's Putin-Elensky gaffe, where Biden called Elensky President Putin. He praised President Putin while Elensky was standing right next to him at the NATO event. Anyway, the European leadership was so shocked at this gaffe from Biden that they immediately, according to various media reports, warmed up to the Trump campaign. They're starting to court Trump and his people, the Europeans. They're jumping ship. They are jumping ship. Imperator Alexander II, Alexander II. Wow. Tsar Alexander II. Cool statue. So, sticking with Project Ukraine and the EU, there are reports that Elensky held meetings with EU officials, and the EU officials are getting very tired of Elensky. This is according to various media reports. They claim that Elensky demanded money and weapons over and over and over again. 15 times, some media reports claim. 15 times Elensky was telling EU officials, give me money, give me weapons, give me money, give me weapons. Over and over and over again. And the EU leaders are getting sick and tired of Elensky. Sick and tired of him. And it's not that the EU officials don't want to give Elensky weapons and money. They want to give Elensky weapons and money. When they give Elensky weapons and money, it's like they're paying themselves, right? Every time they give Elensky billions of euros or billions of dollars, it's like they are paying themselves. So absolutely they want to give Elensky money and weapons. The problem that EU officials have is that they're running out of money and weapons. And so when Elensky starts pestering them about more money and weapons, they're getting upset. Stop pestering me. Stop breaking my balls. If I had the money and if I had the weapons, believe me, I would give it to you, bro. Trust me. If I had the money and the weapons, Elensky, I'd give it to you. But I don't have the weapons and the money. I'm running out. And my people are getting mad. My citizens are getting mad at me. This is what the European leaders are telling Elensky. They're getting upset with me. You saw the European Parliament elections. You see what's going on. People are getting upset. I don't have any more money and weapons to give you. So leave me alone. Stop breaking my balls. That's what they're telling Elensky. Bloomberg is reporting that even the F-16 wonder weapon narrative is all but crumbled. Yeah. Elensky's going to get, Ukraine military is going to get eight or six, I believe six F-16s this summer. And they're going to get a total of 20 F-16s by the end of the year. But according to Bloomberg, the whole F-16 project has all kinds of problems. Problems with training and with language. That's a big problem, according to Bloomberg. Problem with the runway, the airfields. That's a huge problem, according to Bloomberg. And another big problem with the F-16 plan has to deal with maintenance and spare parts. Ukraine's F-16 ambitions snarled by language barrier, runways, and parts. U.S. allies pledged U.S.-made fighter jets more than a year ago. NATO officials cite small number of English-speaking pilots. The whole F-16 narrative, to me, it feels like a year ago, this was a good idea. It sounded really good from a media optics perspective. You know, the script writers in DC, London, LA, they got together and they formulated this F-16 flying in the sky narrative, the F-16s pushing back the Russian military and winning the conflict. And I think the script writers really liked the optics, the visuals of it all. It seemed very cinematic, right? The F-16s fly over Ukraine towards Russia and save the man in the green t-shirt. And they said, this is nice. This sounds good. This sounds like a movie that I'm trying to think of a good Hollywood actor, that Clooney or Brad Pitt, that they could star in, right? Stallone back in the day, or who else? What's that guy's name? Jason Statham, right? Sounds like a movie that one of these Hollywood actors could star in, the F-16s. Sean Penn, of course, Sean Penn. Angelina Jolie playing Annalena Baerbock from Lisbon to Lugansk. But yeah, they formulated this awesome narrative about the F-16s. And everyone ran with it because it sounded so good. But a year later, they're starting to take a very close look at the entire F-16 initiative, and they're saying this doesn't work. This can't work. The Russians are blowing apart the airfields. Actually, let's go down to the other side. The Russians are blowing up whatever airfields Ukraine has. So we're not going to be able to fly the F-16s out of those air bases. And even if we were going to fly the F-16s out of those air bases, the F-16s require a runway which is pristine, perfect. They require a perfect runway. And that's not going to happen in Ukraine. The whole pilot training thing has been a complete disaster. I mean, this pilot training in Arizona and I believe in Germany and Poland or the Netherlands, this has been a complete disaster. Not working out. And then you have the spare parts issue. And so the collective West, they've created this big hype around the F-16, but they don't know how to walk it back now. They don't know how to break it to Elensky, to Ukraine, to the collective West public that, yeah, the F-16, that wasn't a good idea. So they're obliged, here's how I see it, they're obliged to send something, right? So they're going to send 6 or 15 or 20, whatever. Just send something. Just send some F-16s, whatever training the pilots have, fine. Let them fly the F-16s. Let Russia knock those F-16s to the ground. Let them destroy the F-16s, and let's just be done with it. That's how I'm viewing the whole F-16 narrative. Elensky wants 128 F-16s. Yeah, that's never going to happen. Never say never. I'm saying never. Never going to happen. So he'll get 6. Maybe he'll get like another 6 or 8 by the end of the year. And then they'll let the F-16 story fade away. That's what I predict is going to happen. We'll see. Maybe Elensky will get 128 F-16s. For 128 F-16s, he needs 328 pilots or whatever. Just double 128. Do some Annalena Baerbock math and double. 128 times 2 to the 13th power divided by 360 degrees. Whatever. Just double 128. That's how many pilots you need. So the foreign minister of Poland, Sikorski, the man who tweeted out, "Thank you, USA," when Nord Stream was blown up by Zaluzhny or Gilligan or the skipper. Sikorski, now the foreign minister of Poland, he said at the NATO conference that Ukraine will get into NATO. Yep. Once it wins the war. That is what Sikorski said. No joke. No joke. Just last week, Sikorski was talking about about defeating Russia and NATO and the collective West getting more involved in the conflict in Ukraine and all of this nonsense. 1 week later at the NATO event, Sikorsky comes out and says to the media, to the people in attendance, yeah, Ukraine, when they defeat Russia, that's when they'll enter NATO. That's what they need to do, to enter NATO. Defeat Russia. Beat Russia in this war, and your prize will be entrance into NATO. That's what Sikorsky said. that is almost word by word what Sikorsky said. I'll put the quote up on the screen. But yeah, you want to get into NATO? Beat Russia. Don't beat Russia, don't get into NATO. What a mess Ukraine has found itself in. What a mess. So Keir Starmer, the most boring man in politics, a couple of days ago, he said that Storm Shadow missiles can absolutely be used to hit Russian territory anywhere, pre-2014 Russian territory. Keir Starmer said absolutely use those UK Storm Shadow missiles, Ukraine, and hit Russian territory pre-2014. Well, he goes to the NATO event and he comes out and speaks to the media and to people in attendance at this event. And what does Keir Starmer say? He says, yeah, I didn't really mean what I said. Storm Shadow missiles cannot be used by the Ukraine military to hit pre-2014 Russia. Yeah, he's walking that one back. The Telegraph is really mad at Starmer for walking that back. They have an article with the title, "Feckless Britain has handed Putin an undeserved victory. Starmer's flip-flopping on Storm Shadow missiles is far more serious than it might appear." Yeah, you've handed Putin an undeserved victory, Starmer. Cameron said the same thing, by the way. Cameron also said that Storm Shadow missiles can be used to hit pre-2014 Russian territory. And then Cameron, foreign minister, he also walked it back. So no difference between the conservatives and Labor. They can't do anything without the U.S.'s permission. Starmer went to NATO. He made the statement about pre-2014 Russian territory and Storm Shadows. The U.S. sat Starmer down and they said, stop with this nonsense. You will only make these statements when we give you permission to make these statements. And Starmer said, okay, I'll go to the media and clarify what I said, and I'll walk back my statements. And that was that. So that's Starmer. Notice a pattern? Notice a pattern that is going on here? They talk a big game, the collective West. They talk a very big game. But they always back down. But they're very happy. They back down, but they're very happy to let Ukraine do all of the fighting. Let them do all of the heavy lifting. We'll talk a big game, but we'll back down when the time comes. There was a phone call between the Russian defense minister and Lloyd Austin. And this phone call was initiated by Russia. So the Russian defense minister called Lloyd Austin, and we don't have much information of what was talked about, but the call, according to the Kremlin, was about lowering escalation, the threat of escalation. That's what the call was about. And I wonder if this call has anything to do with the statement from the Pentagon and the Biden White House reaffirming their position that U.S. weapons will not be used to long-range missiles, will not be used to hit pre-2014 Russian territory, ATACMS and stuff like that. During the NATO event, the Biden White House and the Pentagon, they said no to Elensky and his request for U.S. weapons to be used to hit Russian territory. Actually, the Biden White House even came out with a statement which said that using long-range missiles, at this moment in time, using long-range missiles to hit pre-2014 Russian territory outside of the designated areas of Kharkov would serve no purpose in the conflict, would do absolutely nothing to help Ukraine in the actual war with Russia. So I wonder if this call had anything to do with those statements from the White House and from the Pentagon, and if Russia sees this as some sort of an opening to further de-escalate. Either way, it's good news. Whatever they talked about, whether the call was a tense phone call, or if they're on good terms, or if they're not on good terms, at least Belousov and Lloyd Austin, just the fact that they're talking is a good thing. That is a good sign, the fact that you do have some sort of communication taking place between the Pentagon and the Russian Ministry of Defense. They also held a phone call about a month ago. That phone call was the U.S. initiative. So that's a good sign, I believe. Let's do one more story, and then we'll talk about kind of a clown world. Kind of a clown world, kind of not. But yesterday's video was all clown world, so this video today will be a little more serious. We have the story about U.S. missiles in Germany. Medium and long-range missiles being stationed in Germany. And there's a lot of talk as to what is going on. A lot of people are asking, what is happening here? Myself included. What is going on? Why is Germany going to allow medium and long-range U.S. missiles to be stationed in Germany, like the Tomahawk missiles? And my thinking on this is, well, Olaf Scholz says that this is not a threat to Russia. This is about deterrence. It's going to prevent a war. That's how Olaf Scholz is framing this. But my thinking on this is Germany's fate. This is what the German government has chosen. It has broken off from Russia, severed its trade ties with Russia, and the natural gas and the resources that it was benefiting from all of these decades from Russia. It's led to Germany's deindustrialization, and all that's left for Germany is to effectively become a military base for the United States. That's it. It doesn't have much more it doesn't have anywhere else to really go. So that's the fate that it has chosen. Bring in your missiles. Once the U.S. missiles are stationed in Germany, then the U.S. completely controls Germany, like completely owns Germany. And that's it. Rheinmetall will be the company. Actually, I can go out through there. Rheinmetall will be like the top company in Germany, producing whatever weapons it could produce. The long-range missiles and military bases and the NATO command centers. That'll be one of the main drivers of the economy, and that's it. And there's never going to be a risk ever again from the U.S.'s side, the way they're looking at it. Never ever will they fear a German-Russian cooperation in the medium to long term, because they'll have the military bases, they'll have their command centers, and they'll have all of their big missiles in Germany. I think that's what this is all about. This is the one win that the U.S. has gotten from Project Ukraine. The one big win, like the big win that they have gotten, is that they have kept Germany down, and they will continue to keep Germany down for a long, long time, for many years to come. No more talk about Germany joining forces with Russia or getting close, cozying up to Russia. That's over. So they have accomplished that. That's the one big win. Well, they've kept Russia out, and they've kept Germany down, and they kept America in. So they have fulfilled the NATO mantra. Of course, they lost the conflict. Project Ukraine, they got spanked by the Russian military. They got spanked by Russia in the economic and sanctions conflict. NATO may be on its last legs, but at least they fulfilled the NATO mantra. NATO may be on its last legs, but at least they fulfilled the NATO mantra, right? I don't know. That's kind of how I see it. Anyway, let's get to Musk. Let's talk about this deal with Musk. And I'm going to categorize this as a clown world because, well, the EU. Clown world. The EU is one big clown world. So Elon Musk, he tweeted the other day, the European Commission offered X an illegal secret deal. If we quietly censored speech without telling anyone, they would not fine us. The other platforms accepted that deal. X did not. So the other big tech companies, they accepted the EU's shakedown, the mafia EU shakedown. What was the EU telling the big tech companies? They were saying either you give us control of your content, you allow us to censor who we want to censor and control speech on your platform, or we will fine you into oblivion with the EU's Digital Security Act, or whatever it's called. DSA, I think, is the name of this act. And the other big tech company said, okay, we'll play ball. Like real mafia stuff, isn't it? Like real mafia stuff. But to his credit, Elon Musk said no. Actually, Elon Musk even told the EU, I'm going to take you guys to court. You can't pull this stuff. This is illegal, according to Musk's statement. And that's what they told X in secret. From what I read from various reports, the EU actually told X that they would have a couple of 100 employees in Brussels at EU headquarters actually monitoring X content, X posts. And they would be deciding which posts are censored and which posts get to stay on the platform. And according to these reports, X would have no say on the matter. So you would have a department of a couple of 100 people in Brussels deciding the content that is acceptable on X. And that was the deal that they threw at Musk. And if Musk said yes, then the EU would not find X in violation of this DSA act that the EU passed, and they would not be fined. And now Musk is blowing the whistle on this secret deal, and he is saying he's going to take them to court. EU values, everybody. EU values. Anyway, that's the video. The Duran.locals.com. We are on Rumble, Odyssey, BitChute, Telegram, Rockfin, and Twitter X. And go to the Duran shop. Pick up some merch. You will find a link in the description box down below. Take care.